Okay.
Oh, child.
All right. We welcome back to the Real Her podcast. As you can see, our co-host gone. She going to her other job. So you have me, your host. Ready for your questions, Kelly?
Yes.
All right.
Hold on, wait. Now, let's kick it a little bit. Let's kick it a little bit. Let's go back down memory lane, how we met.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right. So, Kelly, I know you from Pittsburgh, right? Let me ask this question. How long have you been in New Orleans?
5 years. It's been 5 years, yep.
Why it seemed much longer than it?
Girl, because I've been around.
I've
been out here for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
5 years. So I can remember when I first met Kelly. When I first met Kelly, I went to the spot, right? I was at the spot, the bar.
Mm-hmm.
That's my hood, that's my people, or whatever. So when I met her, I had asked her I was waiting for this other girl to fix me a drink. But the girl never came to the bar, came over there way by me. Yeah. I was waiting for so long. So I said, let me go on the other side, because when I came through the door, I just stopped at that side of the bar. So I said, let me go on the other side. Then I told Kelly fixing me a drink. And at this time, I was drinking rum punch.
Yeah.
Rum punch. So once, rum punch is sweet, is good, or whatever, right? And baby Kelly fixed that rum punch for me. And when I tell you it was the rum rummy, it was the rum punch for me. So I'm tipping her. So I stood on her side of the boat. And I was, give me another one. And baby, when I tell you, I said, oh no, I gotta tip my girl. And from that point forward, when she just talked about how when Takara Tiki asked about what's like a good bartender, like versus another bartender or whatever, that's what you call a bartender. Because when I was going in the spot all the time, I always, let me see if Kelly in here. Shout out to Twin as well.
Gang.
Shout out to Twin. Twin is another one. If I don't see Kelly, I'm looking for Twin. If I don't see both of them, I ain't getting no drink. I'm sorry.
That's real.
That's what it is.
That's real.
Sorry. So, yeah. And ever since then, I always go in there. Ever since that, me and her got tight. Me and Kelly got tight. We've been tight and jammed for the longest. And I don't know if y'all can remember when we discussed about, we had the discussion about, what do friendship mean to you, right? And one of the questions Tiki asked, the co-host Tiki asked was, have you ever, or I asked, have you ever been a bad friend at a parent? In your friendship? And y'all can remember that I mentioned Kelly. I said, oh yeah, I was a bad friend one time because rest in peace to her mother. She passed away or whatever. And when she told me that, she mentioned that to me, I told her, I said, oh my gosh, we got to, go have some brunch, go out to eat, go do something, sit down and talk and catch up, right? We never did that. We never had that, right? I never called her. And remember, I told y'all I was a bad friend. And I said, and then I happened to talk to her and talk to my friend on the phone or whatever. But clock that tea because we got to have that brunch and we got to catch up, So.
Yeah. And to piggyback on that, I respect life. Like, things happen in life. Life be life and for everybody. So, I'm not a hateful person. I don't hold grudges. Like at that time, it was probably so much, for everybody. Everybody had their own things going on. I was like around Christmas. My mom passed on Christmas Eve. 25.
Wow.
Yeah. So and here she go. I keep her with me every day. Blue hearts.
Yeah.
Blue hearts all around. This is my set in Pittsburgh. If you know, you know. Shout out to the Lokes. If you know, you know. But yeah, so it was was just busy for everybody. And I say all that to say, like, it doesn't take away from who you are as a person. Like, it doesn't, make you a bad friend. Because look at all the times that you showed up, when you could and when you did. Like, Mika was at my baby's 5th grade graduation. I was on a float for Mardi Gras in Metairie with KOA. Mika brought my baby, to, and I didn't trust nobody to take my baby. I'm like, shit, I ain't I'm like, I'm not letting her go, with anybody. And I'm like, who can I get? And I'm like, who else? Like Mika going. So, we've been out to eat, lunch. We've been out hanging. I bartend at Bertha, so I could be working and I hear somebody, Kelli! And I'd be like, oh God, here comes that's Mika. Because she the only person that really caught my name. Because I do not like Meek. I don't like people knowing my name. Y'all, I've been getting away with bartending for a long time with people not knowing my name. And it's nothing more than, like, I don't look to be, I don't want the popularity. Like, I grew up popular. I was the class president. I played basketball. I played basketball in college. I got brothers and friends and girlfriends and everything. So, I grew up popular, and me coming here, I lived in Maryland for 14 years. So me coming here wasn't about popularity. I picked somewhere where I didn't know nobody. Girl, where is you at for that? Right. I did. I picked somewhere where I don't know nobody. So, because I don't want nobody to know my name. Like, if you know me, where it's personal. Like, I didn't come here for, friends. And I'm happy, for the friends that I met. I'm happy for the people that I met. But I just came here to, like, lay low and just chill, relax. I'm out here, I have my feet up, and I say that humbly. Like, it's very peaceful. It's comforting. Like, I still got, friends in my city that use my name. Like, oh, I'm Kelly's friend. Or they getting discount for food and getting access to go in the clubs. Like, oh, I'm Kelly's friend. I'm Kelly's friend. I'm like, I've been going from my city since 2007 because, I was in Maryland for 14 years. I'm like, 2007, it's 2026, about to be 20. Like, y'all still using my name? So for that reason, like, I have no desire to be known, but I am thankful for the love that people show me and the people that know me. Right. But yeah, like, you.
I walks in Bertha's. Soon as I hit the door.
Oh, Lord.
Kelli! I get sitting there, don't talk about for your birthday time and all that, or even just regular. Yeah. I'm gonna get me a couple of ones, buku ones, and I'm like telling DJ to come on and play this song, and I'm throwing the ones at my favorite bartender. You heard me?
Miss Bertha be like, they got your friend. Miss Bertha know Mika.
I love Miss Bertha. Shout out to Miss Bertha.
And she don't let everybody do that. Miss Bertha she don't like for people to be dumb money, and but she let Mika do. She love Mika. You just her girl.
Okay, so let's get into it. Why New Orleans? Okay, what made you decide to choose New Orleans?
All right, so I'm gonna take y'all back, like my back. I was born in '82. Like I said, I'm 43. When we was growing up, Pittsburgh is a predominantly white city, but there's definitely a lot of black people. There's black people, there's hoods, there's Pittsburgh be Pittsburgh, and it reminds me a lot of New Orleans. It's just like we just don't have as much culture. Our culture is sports. So as you can see, I'm representing my set, the Steelers. We got the Pirates, the Penguins. The steel mill back in the 80s, 90s. That was very, popular industrial. Like that's how a lot of our families, became wealthy from working in the steel mills in the city of Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, growing up, we lived in an all-black neighborhood. I had the opportunity to go to International Studies Academy where it was diverse. I learned a second language, which was Spanish, and then we had foreigners who came and they were learning English. It was an ESL program. And so we grew up regular. Like it was pretty much similar to here. Like I said, we just weren't as rich in, culture with all the second lines and festivals and all that good stuff. So say like during the early '90s, like our city was big on like gang banging, and well, actually, it started off, with drugs. Like Pittsburgh urban community was our community was heavily flooded and populated with drugs, and it was just like you really couldn't, if your family wasn't established, if they didn't have a name, you really couldn't. You could move around, but it was just like if you want to have certain access, like you got to be, in certain groups with people, places, and things. And so from there, like a lot of the older guys, they were heavy into drugs and, selling drugs. And so they kind of like shut a lot of people out in the community. So you had Ray Childress and Rick Boyd. Ray was from Pittsburgh, but he ended up going out to California. Yeah, and so from Cali, he got affiliated with the Crips. And he brought the Crips back to Pittsburgh, and he brought it back to my neighborhood. And, this was like late 80s, early 90s. So, that's how people start, affiliating themselves with different people, places, and things. And so he was beefing with some guys from a different neighborhood. And because he came from Cali and he brought the Crips to my neighborhood, the guy he was beefing with started the Bloods. So,
wow.
Yeah, we grew up with like, heavy gang affiliation, in Pittsburgh. And till this day, like, it's not that bad, but, people rep their set, they rep their hood. And so that's how you determine like who was who was from where, and going into, like it was a lot of gang violence, shooting, all that stuff. And then they had the RICO Act after my cousin Jerry, he got killed. So after they had the RICO Act, they did a sweep, and it kind of slowed all that stuff down. And then we get into the 90s, like, I'll say like 80, like 98, with Cash Money and No Limit. New Orleans brought the music influence, to the world. And so in Pittsburgh, all the stuff that they were rapping about, we was living that. Like the same stuff that, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Cash Money. And it's crazy because the DJs here, they don't never play like a lot of Cash Money and No Limit. And it's like up north, we live by that. We love it. It's just like so underrated here, but it's so popular up north. So, that influence of Cash Money and No Limit came. And, a lot of, our neighborhood, we infiltrated the uptown, downtown. We got UPT, like a lot of similar things that they had here. So believe it or not, I was always interested in New Orleans from the music. I had, and people laugh at me when I say that, like, what brought you here? I'm like, the music, and because I'm tropical.
Oh, wow.
But
I mean, our music do draw attention, you know? It draw people.
I had every single No Limit album. I had Mac, I had Fiend, C Murder, I had Silk the Shocker, TRU, Mia X, Mercedes, Mr. Magic, Mystical, everybody, even Sons of Funk, and I don't know where they are.
Wow.
But I was 13 years old, and they had, I know, it's gonna be good, girl. I can feel your water. But anyway, that song, Pushing Inside of You. I was 13. I wasn't having sex. I was a virgin. I didn't lose my virginity until my sophomore year in college. But anywho, I was like, dang, I want to know what that's like. I know what he was saying, girl, but I like the way it sounds. So I always had in my mind that I was going, get to New Orleans. But yeah, definitely the music, affiliation, all that stuff. It had a huge impact, on my city and up north. So from there, with Cash Money and No Limit, I just took a liking to New Orleans. So by the time, I think it was like 2000, I graduated high school in 2000. And, I went to college. I played basketball in college, but then I left because I got into a car accident. So I'm like, this ain't for me. And I went back home because, I got a little, I had a car, my mom, I just had all types of stuff. So I kind of got beside myself. Like I lost who I was as a person. I was more, focused on materials, how I look, what I had, and not who I am as a person.
Right.
So I kind of drifted from, being, Kelli to somebody else. And I was just like, I need to go home. I was in school in Ohio. I went to Central State in Wilberforce, Ohio, HBCU. So I pulled myself out, and my mom, she supported me, my family. I'm like, I need to come home. I need to get nurtured because here I'm turning into somebody that I'm not, and I know who I am. So I got to get back to my core me.
Right.
And so I went back home, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do next. So from there, I'm like, okay, well, maybe I could go to Chicago because my dad's side of the family is from Chicago. I'm like, well, maybe I could go to Maryland because I got family on my mom's side. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go to New Orleans. But then y'all had Katrina in 05. Yeah, so Katrina. I was just like, nah, I can't go there. And I ended up going to Maryland in 2007. Okay. So from there, I ended up, coming out here.
Okay. So let me ask this question before we catch a quick commercial break. How is the bartending scene in New Orleans different from other places you've been?
Well, like I said earlier, Pittsburgh was cool because it was love, it was home. Those was my people, so everything just kind of fell in my lap. Like, I didn't have to really do too much. I did bartend in Maryland. Maryland was cool, but I was in Baltimore for the majority of the time, and Baltimore don't like Pittsburgh. They don't like the Steelers, so that Pittsburgh Raven rivalry is really real. So the people, they like me, and they was banging with me, they was messing with me. But once they found out I was from Pittsburgh, they like,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, and I mean,
wow, wait. So you telling me that they like you and they was messing with you hard, but once they found out you was from Pittsburgh, it's like,
no lie.
Wow, we're gonna catch a quick commercial break, y'all.